The Dallas Cowboys wide receiver room is having its healthiest competition in years. A lot of that can be attributed to the addition of George Pickens, who has been as advertised in training camp. Pickens' arrival means the likes of Jalen Tolbert, Jonathan Mingo, and Cavani Turpin can duke it out for the WR3 job behind CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. While Turpin likely won't be listed as WR3 on the depth chart, his usage in camp suggests Brian Schottenheimer has big plans for him. That title will ultimately belong Mingo or Tolbert. While Brian Broaddus of 105.3 The Fan believes Mingo has outplayed Tolbert in Oxnard, Schottenheimer said before Monday's practice that he would give the nod to Tolbert if the season started today. He doesn't get noticed out there sometimes, but he just does a great job in every phase, Schottenheimer said of Tolbert via Joseph Hoyt of the Dallas Morning News. Brian Schottenheimer thinks Jalen Tolbert is beating Jonathan Mingo in Cowboys' WR3 battle. Schottenheimer also stressed that he wants competition for the spot. He did not declare Tolbert the winner before the first preseason game. That would set a bad example. While Mingo may be having the stronger camp than Tolbert from a pass-catching standpoint, it's clear Schottenheimer thinks Tolbert is having a better all-around camp. One area where Tolbert doesn't get enough credit is on special teams, where he is a willing tackler. The Cowboys obviously aren't going to ask Lamb, Pickens, or Turpin to do that. That would risk injury to Lamb and Pickens, and Turpin is the team's primary return specialist. While Schottenheimer's comment sounds contradictory, saying Tolbert goes unnoticed yet excels in every phase, it might really be a message for Mingo to step up on special teams and potentially as a blocker. Tolbert finished second on the team last year with 610 receiving yards and first with 7 touchdown catches. He only played 16 special team snaps, but he experienced his biggest usage as a receiver in his career. He played 278 special team snaps in 2023 when Schottenheimer served as the offensive coordinator. While Schottenheimer should ultimately play the best players, being able to make an impact when you aren't getting targeted is huge for earning playing time. It clearly holds a lot of weight with Schottenheimer, and it might just be the area where Tolbert is outshining Mingo. Surely, we can expect to see Cowboys star Micah Parsons on an NFL field at some point this season. But it remains uncertain whether that will be in Dallas, where his tussle with the Cowboys brass over his contract extension has gotten surprisingly bitter. And according to owner Jerry Jones, the epicenter of this entirely unnecessary struggle, the Cowboys are not counting on Parsons being on the field for Week 1 when the Cowboys open on a Thursday night in Philadelphia against the defending champion Eagles. If history is any guide and Parsons sits out all of training camp or conducts a hold-in in which he shows up but does not participate, that could mean trouble for both Parsons and the Cowboys. Players just can't be ready for a season without a full and engaged training camp. And if Parsons is not playing in Week 1, who knows how long he will sit out. Micah Parsons not in contact with Jerry Jones. Jones, who never misses a chance to hold court with reporters, told the media yesterday that he did not have confidence Parsons would be on the field against the Eagles. Again, no. Absolutely not, Jones said, via the Dallas Morning News. A big part of that is his decision. How would I know that? I'm just saying, I'm urgent. Jones said he still thinks highly of Parsons. He continued, I think the world of Micah. Like I've said, I've had social time with Micah, which isn't always the case, but I have. He's one of the brightest people that I've ever been around, and he's very, very talented. Now, how we ultimately meld him into our future is a challenge. I'm built for it, and he's built for it. Cowboys won't contact agent. But the crux of the disagreement here is that Jones felt he had a verbal agreement with Parsons when the two spoke earlier this year. Parsons, who has a $24 million contract in place for his fifth-year option in 2025, has been willing and even eager to re-sign with the Cowboys. Parsons wanted the Cowboys to make the verbal agreement official through his agent, the highly respected David Mulugheta. But Jones has dug in and has not spoken with Parsons or Mulugheta. It's a bit ridiculous, of course, to expect a player to finalize a deal at the NFL level without his agent. But such is the state of the Cowboys, and Jones's intransigence could cost the team and Parsons a chunk of the 2025 schedule. Cowboys have been here before. We've seen this movie before, of course, from the Cowboys. They waited until the team's opener to sign star quarterback Dak Prescott in 2024 and waited until there was just a week left before the season to sign receiver CeeDee Lamb. Prescott participated in camp, and Lamb did not. Lamb, of course, struggled early in the year. He wound up with 101 catches and 1,194 yards last season, but averaged a pedestrian 5.0 catches and 75.6 yards in the team's first 5 games. That's the concern about Parsons and the Cowboys' 2025 season. The Cowboys' defense is thin and desperately needs Parsons to be on the field and at his best, and there's plenty of evidence that players who miss camp inevitably start slowly. The Cowboys can't afford that. But with less than a month to go, that's where the situation is heading. The Dallas Cowboys' negotiations with All-Pro edge rusher Micah Parsons have gone completely off the rails. Things have devolved so badly in Dallas that Cowboys owner Jerry Jones isn't convinced that Parsons will be on the field for the NFL regular season opener against the Philadelphia Eagles in September. Again, no. Absolutely not, Jones said, via the Dallas Morning News. A big part of that is his decision. How would I know that? I'm just saying I'm urgent. Ezoic. It is debatable how urgent Jones and the Cowboys are, given that Dallas let the wide receiver market establish itself before signing CeeDee Lamb to a long-term extension, same with the quarterbacks and Dak Prescott, and now are in talks with Parsons after elite pass rushers Myles Garrett and TJ Watt already agreed to their colossal extensions. After formally requesting a trade, if the Cowboys throw up their hands and move on from Parsons, the Packers could be an ideal destination. Packers listed as perfect fit for Micah Parsons. Over at CBS Sports, NFL analyst Garrett Podale lists the Packers as a potential trade partner for the Cowboys if they move off Parsons. Green Bay needed their pass rush to come through at key moments throughout last season, Podale writes for CBS. And it wasn't able despite what the team's 45 sacks, tied for the 8th most in the NFL, and quarterback 35.3% quarterback pressure rate, 13th in the NFL, indicated in 2024. The Packers making this move for Parsons could set them up to break through for Super Bowl glory, much like their signing of Reggie White in the 1990s did. They've been the youngest team in the NFL the last 2 years, and they've reached the postseason in both seasons. This could be the move that lifts Green Bay to the next level in the Jordan Love era. It remains to be seen if the Cowboys would be willing to pick up Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst's phone call. Adding Parsons and his 52.5 sacks through his first 4 seasons would be the kind of difference-making impact on coordinator Jeff Hafley's defense that could lift Green Bay into becoming a legitimate Super Bowl contender. Ezoic. Whether the Cowboys have any designs on trading Parsons at all, let alone to a fellow NFC North contender, remains to be seen. However, GM Brian Gutekunst and the Packers are well positioned to pull off a trade for Parsons and would be wise to be working the phones attempting to make one happen.